Starting a physical monthly magazine for 5th edition in the year 2022 is not only an extremely original idea, it is not only hugely nostalgic, at least for me, but it takes an enormous amount of guts to actually pull it off. And I absolutely love it. Hi there fellow roleplayers and game masters, my name is Mr. Tarask and this is your go-to YouTube channel for everything Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition related. And today I'm talking about Crucible magazine, a new monthly magazine for 5th edition. And I'm going to just say that I haven't felt this excited for a Kickstarter in a heck of a long time, and I really want this one to succeed, because you can see they're looking for $20,000 to raise $20,000 in order to do this. They've raised $0, but that is because I'm recording this with a project that is not live yet. When you're seeing this video, you can click the link in the description below and the project will be live and you can back it. Now, the reason I'm super excited for this, I'm just gonna go and say it. I am subscribed to the New in Chess monthly magazine, which is a monthly magazine for chess nerds like myself, full of chess stuff and everything. And I am an absolute sucker for physical monthly magazines, meaning that I used to be subscribed to like a PC gameplay. I bought Power Unlimited every now and then. There were other magazines that I bought that were like Belgian magazines. As a kid, I was subscribed to, what was it called? Star Wars Fact Files or something like that. Absolutely love it, and this just feels so ridiculously old school for me, and it is just such a gutsy move to do in 2022. And it is going to be a monthly magazine that looks really well done, and there's just so much content and so much value you get from this. Now, we'll be taking a look at the Kickstarter page, and also in the first issue of the magazine, which I'm actually lying, is actually issue number 0, because everybody can download it from the Kickstarter page. So make sure to go to the link in the description below, click it and download it for yourself. We'll be looking at it, which will be like number 0. But you can, if you back the Kickstarter, you can actually get that one as well in a print version. Now, what is this going to be? A monthly magazine for 5th edition in print, PDF and Foundry virtual tabletop, packed with adventures, yes, adventures, 4 pages comic, interviews and more. And there's so much more. This is really cool. So let's just get into it, right? So Crucible magazine looks like one of those magazines from back in the days. Of course, there's still a ton of magazines that still exist, but like the prime of magazine time, those prime days are over. So that's why I really like that there is a company actually going to do this Crucible magazine thing. It just looks really like Crucible magazine, like the big letters and then the big picture, and then there's like Luke Gygax and the Forgotten Warrior, and just looks like all those magazines I had when I was a child. And there will be miniatures, and for example, you can get this miniature from a certain pledge goal, which isn't a lot. You can get this miniature, and if they can pull off that kind of detail they have in this picture, then we're good, right? Then we'll have an amazing miniature, because it looks really cool. And as you can see, there's an adventure tied to it, which makes it so cool. And these adventures aren't just like one page. I was expecting way less than actually is in the first issue, issue 0 that we'll be looking at in a bit. The adventures are really like, and the value is amazing. I'm going to scroll down and show you. Also, there is a 4-page comic that's going to be there, and it's going to like be an episode every month. You'll get a new one in your mailbox, and you will the story will continue from the previous one, which really reminds me back in the days. I had like this magazine that I read, which was Belgian specific, and it had a comic, and I was always like reading the comic. Was really cool. Then there's like the modern touch to it. Every adventure in here comes with maps. It comes with digital assets like player handouts and everything, and they will have a QR code for that, which you can just like beep. You can print, you can scan it with your phone, beep, and you'll have the digital assets on your phone, or you can click it from the PDF with your laptop or with your tablet or whatever. You can download the launch issue, digital PDF, which I've already done, and we'll be talking about a bit. There will be magic items. There will be all this stuff, right? So there's even a stretch goal for themed illustrated character sheets. Ooh, that look really, really nice. Really cool stuff. But I really want to look into this. So I'm gonna go off the 3 issues at this point, because let's just say that you're the kind of person who really loves the idea of a monthly magazine, and you want to support it, but you don't want to go all in, right? So you can get the PDF for $30, which will give you 3 issues for $30. That's $10 an issue. Now, for the amount of content that's in there, the price is really, really good, because you will be easily paying $10 for a Dungeon Masters Guild adventure, right? And these adventures are all worth the $10 separately, at least $5 or something like that. So the value in here is amazing. And there's even like subclasses for the ranger and a subclass for the wizard and everything. We'll look into that. So that's really good value. The print plus the PDF will set you back $45. So you get the print. Then you get the Foundry VTT also, which I don't use. I don't use Foundry. I'm a big Shard Tabletop advocate. Still offer 20% discount on that. I just love Shard Tabletop. Then there is the Print and the Virtual Tabletop and the PDF. And then there is the level that I would back. It is the At the Table level. There's also a Collector's level, which is for the people who really want to go all in and get all the stuff. But for me, the sweet spot personally is at the table tier, right? So what that is, because from the picture it says you get all this stuff, but there's actually more. Let's look at that. Let's just scroll to the At the Table 6 issues. At the Table, At the Table 3 issues. So you get the 3 issues in print, you get 3 issues in PDF, then you get the launch issue, which is free for everybody, but you get a print collector's edition of the launch issue. So I know there's a lot of people watching my channel who collect stuff, right? Dungeons and Dragons stuff, Magic the Gathering stuff, Pokemon cards, for all I care. There's a lot of people that collect stuff, and once you get into like these magazines, you always want to have like an entire box of all the magazines. So getting like a print version of the launch edition is really cool, and it will be probably limited because they will only send that out to people who back for these levels that have it. There will be Kickstarter exclusive stickers, Crucible glow in the dark dice. Now I have a strong opinion on glow in the dark dice, and that is, I don't think that makes any sense. Who the hell plays Dungeons and Dragons in the dark, right? I mean, it's a cool gimmick. A lot of people like it, but I'm always like, I have a few, and I've never found any use for it. Only just to say to my friends, look, they glow in the dark, and then you have to like peek through your fingers in order to see that they glow in the dark. But I love metal dice. These are metal dice, and I absolutely love metal dice because they completely destroy my table, and I just love the sound of that. There's a Crucible dice bag, and there is the I sometimes end up saying, I'm sorry, I sometimes end up murdering the name and saying Crucible instead of Crucible. That's because I suffer from dyslexia, and that just really, those words look exactly the same to me. There is a printed mini. So you get the printed mini. This one, I'm just going to scroll up. This one, you get that for that tier, right? You get this printed mini printed. So you don't have to print it for yourself or whatever. Now, you get all of that stuff. And by the way, a Dungeon Master screen. So you get a Dungeon Master screen, you get a printed mini, like a big one, a printed mini, you get a dice bag, you get metal dice, glow in the dark, exclusive stickers, launch issue in print, and 3 issues in print, and the PDFs, all for a mere $110. I mean, if that's not value, then I don't know what is, because this is the launch issue. Let me just show you what they are planning to do with this. If they can keep up the quality of the launch issue through the first issues and all the issues coming after that, then we have something really, really special, because the quality is there, ladies and gentlemen. So I've decided to put it like this because it's kind of like, it feels like one of those magazines, you know. I mean, some people are subscribed to car magazines. Always like these big letters and these big like Ferrari GT40. No, Ferrari 4 GT. Anyway, freaking Mustang, whatever. And you want to read it, right? So there's of course like a commercial about the Kickstarter, and then there is these adventure paths, and all of these are basically the first episode for one path, and they will have 4 adventures through all of the books, and there is 4 paths through all of these books. So this first one, for example, Adventure Path, that has the first episode, is called Sea Giant's Cove, will take players from level 3 all the way up to level 10. The first adventure will probably cover 1 level or something like that, but all the adventures combined will take players from 3 to 10. You can play these completely separately, as one-shots or one-offs or whatever, but you can also tie them together to get like this adventure path. So that's really, really smart and really, really cool. Then there are like adventure days, more dungeon master tips. And then there are subclasses. There is backgrounds, and then there's an interview, and there is a freaking graphic novel. It's just crazy, and this is what a magazine should look like, right? Like 2 pages, and there's this big piece of artwork that has like most of it on 1 page, but it goes all the way over to the next page. And just to show you what they mean with adventures, I was like really expecting 1 or 2 pages. And they're like 1 or 2 pages adventures, like just some of these, but this is like the backstory. There is information about the scene, like the city or the harbor or whatever they're going to. There are NPCs, there are random rolling tables, there are monster stat blocks, features. There is an entire map that you can drop into your virtual tabletop and play it in your virtual tabletop. And every adventure has a QR code, so you can get that map and drop it in your virtual tabletop. There are locations for the map. Like, it is written out. Like, this is almost a complete... No, I'm just gonna say it. It is a complete adventure for the... I've seen smaller adventures on the Dungeon Masters Guild, priced for like $4.99 up to $7.99, even $10 for this kind of adventure, and you're getting this entire thing for $10. So... yeah, as a PDF, by the way. It's just amazing. And this is only one of them. So this is one adventure. All of this is one adventure. And then there is this one. It's another adventure. Again, with the QR code, you can click it or you can scan it, beep, with your cell phone, and you get like the digital tools and the miniature we've been looking at in the beginning in this video. That's for this adventure. So you can play this adventure. If you back it for the miniature, you get the miniature. You can play this entire thing again with a map, all this stuff going on right here. You know, it's just cool. It's cool. It's just, yeah, it's built like a magazine and it feels like a separate adventure. It's cool that they have like a different color for each adventure. Really, 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 really well done. Let's look at some of the other stuff that's in here, because it doesn't stop there, right? So so there's adventure days, and this is like really cool. It's extra. It's a bunch of stuff that can happen when your players are going from A to B, maybe from dungeon to city and from city to dungeon, back and forth, and when they're traveling. That's why you have this traveling artwork, really cool artwork, that can happen during the day when they're doing, like, there's all kinds of random stuff that can happen, events. Some are just role-playing, some are combat IDs. There's quest seats for all kinds of stuff. And then there is an arcane tradition, wizard subclass, school of summoning, because why not, right? Then there's the ranger archetype, dungeon strider, because why not? There's backgrounds, because why the F not? I mean, it's just so cool. There are freaking magic items. Harp of Thorns, for example, which is a harp that has thorns. So if you play it, your fingers will bleed. The frame of this small wooden harp is carved with beautiful blah 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 red-tipped thorns. You must be proficient in stringed instruments to use this harp. When you play this harp as part of a performance check, you take 1d4 plus 1 piercing damage and add the results to your roll. So that's so cool. It's just so simple and so cool. You're playing this harp that it hurts really bad, but you want to do a performance with it. You take the damage and you add that number. So let's say you take 5 damage, but you add that to your performance roll, So your performance increases, but you're taking damage. Really, really well thought out. There's all kinds of magic items in here. There's a freaking interview with Luke Gygax. We all know who that is. There is a bunch of other stuff, and then there is the graphic novel that looks like really, really, really well done, really professionally done. It's drawn the way comics are drawn, right? They call it a comic, The Forgotten Warrior. It will be like an episodic kind of thing, and yeah. Really, absolutely digging it. Look at this old school Godzilla-esque artwork. Let me just make myself a little bit smaller for this, right? This just so you can see the monster instead of my pretty face. And yeah, that's basically it. And this thing is already like 92 pages long, which is of course a little bit longer than probably the first issues are going to be, because they have like these commercial pages and everything. My computer is super slow with these commercial pages and everything, but other than that, they are saying each magazine is going to be more than 80 pages, which is, for me, it's in my opinion, a really, really, really good deal. So the value here is amazing, because you get 4 adventure paths, like complete adventures with a complete path. You get so it's basically a campaign, and the cool thing is you're getting it in PDF and in print. Print because you want to hold it in your hands and want to read articles, right? But also PDF because maybe you start one of these adventure paths and your players are like, let's play next week, and you know that this thing is going to release the day before, but it's not going to be physically at your doorstep the day before. But you already have the PDF, so you can look into the PDF in order to play. You have this cool Dungeon Master screen, I really love it. These stickers, but like with the miniature and everything that's tied into one of the adventures. I really think this one is going to be really cool, and I really, I'm eager to see what it's going to be when it's finished. And I'm really curious if they can keep up the quality from the first issue, from issue 0, if they can keep up that quality through the first 3, through the first 6 issues. I'd be super duper happy with that. If you're interested in this, even remotely, make sure to read through the Kickstarter page, watch the trailer, click the link in the description below, and until next video, bye bye.